For everybody who's been looking forward to the CB750 full custom stainless exhaust system, you're going to have to look forward to it for a little bit longer. I just don't want to leave the CX in so many parts for too long. I want to put the thing back together, and one of the pieces to that puzzle is this guy, the actual motor. The engine I've actually started with the paint, but I do need to sandblast the rest of it, and I need to actually plug up all the holes before I get to that point, and then obviously get the sandblasting done so then I can paint it. Now, unfortunately for this guy, he doesn't fit in my blast cabinet. So what I'm going to do is, over this side of the garage, I've just got a whole bunch of timber offcuts that I use for little projects that I do. A lot of them that I can probably utilize and make, I guess, a blast cabinet. Now, it doesn't have to be anything specific. It just needs something that I can actually put the sand into, something where I can put my gloves attached to, and something that I can see into. So really, it's going to be pretty simple, but it's going to be big enough to house this engine so that I can sandblast it. And that's all I care about right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to build a real simple sandblast cabinet so that you can do this at home if you want. I do have some clear, I'm pretty sure I have some clear perspex that I picked up along the way somewhere. I've got, I think that might be some, which I can use as a window so that I can actually see in. Yeah, see, that's clear, if you see that there. So I might use that. It's not going to be completely sealed, so sand can escape. So I might end up doing this outside, not in the garage, so that I end up with sand everywhere. But it'll be enough to sandblast this engine in a cabinet so that I don't waste the sand. It doesn't go all over me and all over the place. So I can see what I'm doing, and I can get my hands around this thing and really clean it up before I actually start painting. So let's get into it. What I'm going to do here is keep it fairly simple. I'm going to work out the size that I need to actually make a base so that I can spin the engine around inside there. I'm going to do a back, so something nice and simple, probably the same size as the base. And then I'm going to do a top, bit like that. Hopefully you're following along. And then maybe like an angled front, and then just a front. So then that way it'll be just pretty much like that. This section here where the actual window is going to be, where the angled front is, I'll probably end up making out of timber and then just cutting maybe a hole out of it somehow, just so that I can see into it, and then actually have something to fix the perspex to. Perspex being the actual acrylic plastic. So that's pretty much it. Quick little tip here, I'm not sure if I've mentioned in the channel, but if you're going to join two pieces together like I'm about to, and you need to sort of do some pre-drilling, the best way to find the center is to use this finger as a guide, rest your pencil on that, and then just go up and down until you kind of find the center, and that's your magic spot. And then from there on, actually mark the material that you're about to drill into. This will be the side piece. Then you can pretty much just run your finger on the edge of that, and then all the way along, and work out obviously where you want your screws, and then do your pre-drilling, and off you go. Now that we've got it pretty much built this far, I need to figure out where I'm going to put the door. The back panel I'm going to put on, which is here. I've just cut this out, so I'll screw the back panel on. I'll cut out a top for it, so I'll throw the lid on it, and then I think I'll make this section here somehow the door. I don't know how. I don't know if I'm going to hinge it or how I'm going to do it. Obviously I don't want it to leak much. Obviously it's going to leak a little bit, but as long as I don't end up with shoes full of sand, we're all good. So for the front of this, as well as the top, I've decided to cut it on the right angle just to get it pretty much looking presentable. You don't have to do this if you're making one. I just have the ability to do it because I have a table saw that you can change the angle of the blade. For the hinges, I've found these. I've had these floating around my garage for God knows how long. So I'm going to use them. They're different lengths, so there'll probably be a little bit of a gap in a couple of them. Not that I'm worried about it. I'm probably going to run some sort of just foam adhesive seal around it. Like, this is just a makeshift box, like I mentioned earlier, just to pretty much sandblast the engines, and that's pretty much it. Whatever happens to it after that. Lucky I checked that. I just pretty much rested it on top, as you saw, and then as I pulled it down, you can see it's like quite a bit of a difference. So I'm just going to use a spacer, do the same thing again, just I only put 2 screws in just to test it then. So I'll put, I think I've got these little washers, so I'll just use that as my spacer. It won't be perfect, but it'll be enough. I might actually see if I can find another little washer, actually a little bit taller than that. Okay, so that's much better. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap here. I have something that I'm going to use in there to fix that up. Now for the moment of truth. Actually worked out better than I thought, because that kind of acts like a bit of a, I guess, a stand for it. Stops it from, you know, putting all the weight on the hinges. It's a win. So I decided to put a bit of a lip here for 2 reasons. One, for support down this section, just to give it a bit of rigidity down here, as well as to retain the sand or bead or whatever I end up using. So it gives it a little bit of a room for it to sit in here without, you know, falling out straight where that gap will be. Hopefully it won't be too much of a gap, but you know, you do your best with these things, and obviously timber's going to move, so that should retain most of it, hopefully.